Hello and greetings, fellow Whovians. Welcome to Timey Wimey Review, a YouTube channel dedicated to anything and everything related to the world of Doctor Who. But for this particular video, I just wanted to take a little bit of a sidestep as I wanted to talk about the latest drama written by current and former Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies, the three-part biopic drama which is now on ITVX, Nolly. First, this video is dedicated in part to the people of Turkey and Syria who are going through an unimaginable horrendous time following those earthquakes on Monday. Thoughts and prayers and love to everyone that's involved in that. Like I said, I can't possibly imagine what you are going through. This is a part of a charity shout out. I will be doing that towards the end of this video, so do stick around to find out how you can help. So Nolly is a three-part drama based on the actual events that happened towards the British actress Noele Gordon, who is being played by Helena Bonham Carter. Noele Gordon was a very popular actress in the 60s and 70s, an award-winning household name in that era, most notably famous for playing the motel matriarch Meg Mortimer in the British soap Crossroads. After 18 years of playing this character in this long-running soap, that all came to a sudden halt as Nolly was unceremoniously sacked from the show back in 1981. And this drama picks up the story from here after Noele Gordon, should I say, was fired from the show, and the uproar that it caused with the British press. And for quite a long time, no one really knew what actually happened and why Noele Gordon was sacked. Pretty much until now. Coming into this drama, I didn't really know, well, I knew nothing about Noele Gordon whatsoever, and I only sort of recognized the name Crossroads. I wouldn't even know who the characters were. I knew it was based on a motel, and I kind of remember the theme tune, but that's about it. I knew it had a bit of a revival back in the early noughties in the UK, but it's just one of those soaps that hasn't quite stood the test of time. Probably did back then in the 60s and 70s and 80s, but definitely not now when you compare it to the likes of other British soaps such as Coronation Street, Emmerdale or EastEnders. However, when I first started watching this drama, you got a sense of what was going on. Noele Gordon was definitely the star of the show. I was doing a little bit of research into this review and I found out that she was the only actress in Crossroads at that time who was on a guaranteed contract. All the rest of the actors and actresses were basically paid on an ad hoc basis. She only had like a sort of rolling contract. Basically, all the rest of them, like I said, was on 0-hour contracts. I imagine, week to week, when I was getting the scripts, whether they survived or whether they're going to get written out of the show. So that must have been quite scary to be sort of living on at that time. And the similarities that I got or I felt when watching this drama from Noele Gordon and how she sort of came in and was sort of changing the scripts when there's coming in sort of like different sort of marking spots, or I'm not doing this, I won't do that, not in a nasty way, but I'll get to that a little bit later. I felt those similarities was kind of like how Tom Baker was, if you sort of watched any of the previous Doctor Who documentaries during his time as the Fourth Doctor in Doctor Who. I imagine both Noele and Tom were very proprietorial as their characters. They were very much protecting of their characters, and just want to have the show to be the best that it could possibly be. Now, I wouldn't say that there was either temperament or discord in the drama or in Crossroads. That part of it's not really included in the drama, but that's the sort of similarities that I felt between these two people. Helena Bonham Carter as Noele Gordon was fantastic. I mean, that was never going to be in doubt. She's just such a good character actress, and oh god, it must be difficult to be her sometimes, because she has all these characters rattling around in her mind. Obviously, being in Harry Potter, most recently being Princess Margaret in The Crown. I don't know how she does it, but it just shows how good she is. And yeah, I just felt from again just comparing some of the videos that are out on YouTube of the actress Noele Gordon. I think she definitely got the mannerisms and the voice down to quite a fine art. Obviously, this is more of a dramatization of these true events. So there's a little bit of stretching to and froing as well, especially if you compare the scene that what you see in Nolly, where Noele Gordon announces that she's been sacked. That's kind of more of a sort of a dramatization version of events, where rather where the Noele Gordon, if you go back and watch it, might have been a bit edited. You're gonna have to let me know in the comments. I would say Noele Gordon was being a little bit more sort of graceful in her unceremonious sacking. Really, she was saying that I've had a great time on Crossroads and I'm thankful for ATV, but don't talk to me about the policies or the reasons why I've been fired. It is what it is. I've got other things to go up and get on with. So it's a thank you for coming type of thing. It's just a very fascinating insight into the world of how television was made, particularly in the 70s and 80s, going into that sort of new era, especially for soaps, because this was the time where, again, Russell T Davies mentioned in recent interviews, this was a time where soaps were going to be turned on its head. We just had the Who Shot JR moments from Dallas in America, and that the British sort of program or producers and makers and writers were sort of like, we want a piece of that. We want, soaps was going to change in a big way. Again, with this being a dramatization, you got the freedom, I would say, to sort of stretch some of the stories and basically interpret it in your own way to tell, like I said, an entertaining story. And I feel that Russell T Davies has done a good job in that, whilst also subtly throwing in a little bit of facts of Noele Gordon's life into the mix without it sort of like being sort of run off. It's just, it's in there. And in the case of sort of like, you have to sort of rewatch to sort of what you can kind of miss with these facts, such as Noele Gordon being the first woman to be transmitted in colour. She was also the first female presenter to have interviewed a British Prime Minister, and also thrown in the subtle facts about obviously her time in Crossroads and Crossroads itself. Like there's a scene where it's still being broadcast live because it cost a lot of money to edit videos together, camera film together. Again, similar to Doctor Who in the 60s. So if they got an underrun because they were just basically trying to time it to, I think, something like 19 minutes or 20 minutes. So if it was underrunning, they would basically set the phone to go off and Noele Gordon will pick it up and just basically improvise a telephone conversation whilst behind the cameras there was doing this to sort of keep talking, which I've seen on TV as well, until they are up to the speed that they need to be at. So that's again a fascinating insight into basically still early television, and also into the insights of what they were going to do with the character of Meg Mortimer. There was one point where the writers were thinking of literally crashing a plane on her head. There was sort of like one of the weird sort of how we're going to get rid of this character. It's again, it's a bonkers time. And it's an insight into basically the self-destruction of their own programming. And this was kind of hinted in the drama, but again it was a little bit more from what I was researching as well, that basically ATV wanted to do more sort of glamorous programs, and here they are with this soap with very wobbly sets, and not that much of a budget. So there was, but they knew it was so popular that they just couldn't get rid of it. So again, just similarities with Doctor Who. You know, it's the same sort of thing that they had in the 80s when when the BBC put that show on hiatus. And what I really appreciated from this drama, again, very similarities to Noel Gordon and Tom Baker at the end of their tenure of Doctor Who and Crossroads respectively, was that sense of loss and now what? Because you know you've been this character for such a long time, it is just going to throw you off completely. And for Noel Gordon, obviously he's trying to keep that flame alight, that acting flame alight, with going back onto stage and doing some big performances, as well as other sort of TV work. But you just know that it's never going to be as big as Crossroads again. And you do get this emotional roller coaster for her, especially if you don't know much about Noel Gordon, the actress. Obviously, you can find that out on Wikipedia very easily. But if you don't know, I'm going to keep that as a surprise because it is quite, you know, the ending does sort of kick in the feels very much so after sort of the, you know, it's a bittersweet moment at the end of this 3-part drama. So if you're into your TV biopic dramas, this is the one for you. Helena Bonham Carter as Noel Gordon was fantastic. Again, that was never in doubt. Thought she had some great one-liners, some fantastic put-downs, and just the aura that is the mystery surrounding Noel Gordon was brilliantly brought to life, not only just by Helena, but with Russell T Davies as well. He's a fantastic writer, there's no doubt about that. And yeah, it was a great story to follow, an interesting insight into the world of television from the 60s and 70s, and I do recommend that you watch this drama, which you can do now on the streaming app ITVX, which used to be the ITV Hub. You can watch that for free. You don't need to go on the premium subscription service for that one. I do hope it makes its way across the pond at some point, hopefully on either BritBox. And I hope it does get a televisual broadcast as well for everyone else that doesn't really go into the streaming services. That's fine. I do recommend it. Like I said, it's on there now for free, but I do hope it gets its televisual debut at some point on ITV. So let me know in the comments below your thoughts to Nolly. Have you watched it yet? Did you enjoy this 3-part drama? And what did you think of Helena Bonham Carter's performance as Noel Gordon? And also, were you a big fan of Crossroads in the day? Did this stir up any nostalgic memories for you? As I said earlier, this video is dedicated in part to the people of Turkey and Syria who have tragically lost their lives to this devastating earthquake. At this moment, at the time of recording, over 11,000 people have sadly lost their lives. And as a bit of a charity shout out, in the description link below, I will be putting up a list of charities if you feel that you can donate. I know at this time it's the cost of living crisis. I know that's, you know, it's a very difficult time for a lot of people, but if you can give what you can, please have a look in the description below. There's some various charities that I'll be putting on that description list, such as the Red Cross, International Aid, Oxfam. They're all taking part in donations, or there's other ways you can get involved as well. Do check out those websites, and if you can help, please help. Thank you very much for watching this review. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, share and subscribe, and do check out my other videos from the Timey Wimey Review YouTube channel. It's dedicated to anything and everything from the world of Doctor Who. I've got some fantastic Doctor Who related content on there and a lot more to come in the future. But for now, thank you very much again for watching, and I hopefully will see you soon.